What about the Rockets so far? Did we have any other Rockets other than Hudson O'Neal in the top 10 tonight?
Mm,
We've been kind of keeping a track of that.
well, I'd say Garrett Smith hurt their chances with what
Yeah. What
transpired
about we
there.
talked about Ross Robinson earlier. Is he in a Rocket?
I'm not sure.
He's got
Ross
Rick.
Robinson's in a Rocket.
Yeah, he's
I'm
got Rick
pretty
Okay.
Eckert.
sure of it.
Rick Eckert helping him, and Eckert, he's a Rocket
He's a
guy.
Rocket guy. Yeah. So
So yeah, you got
old Ross bailed him out there. Look at
two
that.
Rockets in the top 10. Uh, are they selling Rockets with their performances down at Speedweeks so far?
Listen, they're selling Rockets.
They're selling Rockets either
They're
way,
selling Rockets
obviously.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
Right. I'm just saying, but they're listen, they're selling as many cars as they want to sell. I promise you.
Right.
I promise you, their business is doing good. I mean, them guys are running good, and they're right there. You know what I'm saying?
But surely
It's just that,
they want more
yeah,
cars in the top 10 down there, other than more
for
than just
sure.
Hudson.
But look, I mean, this everybody, all the guys that are racing around are just in Longhorns now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it is. But
Well, let me rephrase my question.
it'll come back.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is Hudson O'Neal, Ross Robinson, Dennis Erb Jr., uh, Jimmy Owens won a heat race tonight. Where did Jimmy end?
Where
Oh,
did
he broke.
Jimmy end
Jimmy
up?
Jimmy
He
pulled
broke.
something happened. Had broke early on there. Jimmy Owens wins a heat. I'm assuming the 10's in a Rocket. Is he in a
Yeah,
Rocket or a Longhorn? Anybody
he's
know?
in a
It's a
Rocket.
rocket.
It's a
Are
Rocket.
they convincing any of these guys that have seemed to be jumping ship and all going to Longhorn? Are they doing anything to convince them to get
To
the
come
numbers
back.
back up at that level? I'm like, obviously Rocket, like Joseph said, they're selling plenty of race cars, but are they getting the numbers back up at the
The
national
national
level?
level and the national guys.
I think that the national level and national guys, all those guys that are racing, that the rocket car has to beat right now in Hudson O'Neal, the ones that they're having to race, the 5 to 8 cars there that's up front, the powerhouses are there. I think right now they're all content where they're at.
Yeah,
And I don't think that there's. I think everybody knows that if whoever owns their stuff said, "Hey man, we're buying rockets," I don't think anybody would say, well, "I'm not driving it." You
yeah,
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's just where everything's at right now. Everybody's satisfied with what they have. They're both fast, and there's really no reason to jump ship for either one right now.
B Huff here in chat. He's been around a while. Joseph always wanted a Rocket from day one when we first started the channel, and we thought we were trying to get rid of those victory circles. Remember that?
Yeah,
And we talked
I
about it in
remember
the
that. Yep.
video. And
Yep.
you said, "That's well, what are you wanting to get?" And you said a Rocket XR1. Never
Yeah.
did get one.
Ain't had one of them yet. Never
No,
sent him one.
never did.
Ain't no doubt I'd run one. I think that they're as good as anything else. But I don't know. All
Right.
right, we got what we got now. So
That
So,
was go ahead, Jesse.
well, we ended up going with a capital. I
hmm
think after all of that, and which brings me to my next point. How do you feel like things are going? I know it's early, with the Tony Jackson Jr. with the whole new capital thing. I think, is it going kind of as expected, or better, or worse, or what's your way in on that?
I would
It,
have liked to have seen them be doing a little better at this
Yeah,
point.
me too.
Um,
I'm sure he's got
I don't
Shane
know.
there with him.
Shane's there.
Sure,
I
man.
seen him on the broadcast. He was there.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see them be racing a little bit more in the pack there.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah, here's what I've always thought about it is, your odds, right? If you get a bunch of chips, like for instance, you got red chips and black chips and the Rockets and Longhorns, and how many yellow chips of Capitals, or you know
mhm.
BMFs, or the triple double nickel car, like your odds are significantly higher with the black and red chips because everyone's in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just, is it because they're struggling, or they just ain't got enough chips in the pot, so to speak? You,
The
you see
more
what I'm
chips you
saying?
have, the better.
Right.
But it only takes one.
It only takes one,
Yeah,
but a whole lot
it's a whole
better
lot easier to
chances.
have that one if you got
Right.
more,
Yeah.
chances
Mhm.
of one being in there. It's so okay. Barry Wright, you got
Very right. Yep.
Will Harrington in a Barry Wright. He's struggling to he
Struggling.
went from third to eighth, I think, in like
He
two
did.
laps on the heat race.
He did.
Um, it's I
It
guess you had to,
stinks. I want to see these guys do good. I mean, I'm not knocking them. I would have liked to seen Tony Jackson come out and be faster. Like Harrington, you want to see him run good in his new deal. But they are on the big stage. They're racing against the best, and I think it shows a little bit that they're in a new deal and just struggling a little bit.
your best chance to see somebody other than a Rocket or a Longhorn. I mean, who's the best driver in something other than one of those cars right now? The most or the guy that's got the best chance of going and competing for a win at the national level that's not in a Rocket or a Longhorn.
Good question. Who is it?
That is a good question.
Tanner
I don't
English in
know.
a BMF,
Okay. Yeah.
or
I can see that.
EPJ, Earl Pearson Jr. in
Mhm.
a BMF.
Yeah.
Um, Barry Wright, you got Will Harrington. Capital right now, you got, I guess, Tony Jackson Jr.
Mhm.
There's some other guys that could show up, right, here and there. But as far as that field you saw tonight, your best chance for someone that's not in a Rocket or Longhorn to make some noise, is Tanner English, EPJ. Like, it's just not a whole lot of, not to knock those guys, but your Tanner English was on outside pole of a heat race and got taken out on lap one. So, he had a good opportunity there, but we'll never know what
Yep.
he was going to make of it. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he is competing for a win at some point during speed weeks. But I guess my point I'm making is it's going to be really hard to see anything other than a Longhorn or a Rocket win in Florida or Georgia. Do y'all think anything else wins
Well,
one of
they
these
said Dale
races?
McDowell.
Oh, Dale
Cat-
McDowell.
Okay,
sorry.
Boog was score.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
Dale
he
McDowell. Where the
hasn't-
heck was he tonight?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Like,
I totally
was
forgot
he-
about McDowell. He's your best
Yeah.
shot.
Hey, I'll tell you where McDowell was. He didn't make the show. He didn't make it.
I
It's
guess
gonna be
maybe.
another 20 years before he goes back.
Yeah, he was good in the qualifying and the heat race on night one, and he went backward from there. Honestly, what does that say about McDowell and what he's doing?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Ain't no doubt he knows what he's doing.
right?
he knows what he's doing.
He probably would go slower in something else.
Yeah. They
You know what I'm
got.
saying?
He is a different
Mm-hmm.
situation there. It almost feels like not really comparable to these other guys in the other brand of cars. Okay, well, back to my question: does anything else win other than Longhorn or Rocket during speed weeks?
It's gonna be hard.
I'm gonna just say no.
Yeah.
Maybe McDowell at Volusia if he's at the
Hey.
World Outlaws there.
Maybe Volusia would be the best chance, my opinion. I think the
Go ahead.
rest of it, Ocala, Alltech, East Bay, that door just open for Longhorn and Rocket, my opinion.